Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kesmi 107.1 FM and across the world at 3news.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. This afternoon, traders at Swami Market count the losses as ravaging fire sweeps through the business hub, reducing over 100 shares to ashes. We're live in Kumasi. Also in the program, hundreds of displaced victims of the communal violence in the Solatuna Kaba district of Savannah region continue to flee their homes amidst food security and safety concerns. National Disaster Management Organizations begins evacuation of residents living along the Black Volta following the spillage of the Bagri Dam. There's more here on the program for you. Stay with us. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, a devastating fire swept through Swami Market on Tuesday night, reducing over 100 merchant sheds to ashes and destroying countless goods. The inferno has left traders facing immense losses, with their wares and livelihoods completely wiped out. Ibrahim Abubakar is our correspondent live at the scene. He joins us live on the phone. Ibrahim, just tell us what the situation is like now.
Well, but Beatrice, I can tell you that the situation is now under total control. Just that we still have some of the traders who are yet to even come to terms with reality as to how they've lost all their entire investment. For others, they are still there, even though clearly you can see that there is nothing to be retrieved, but they are just going through the debris and see if they will be able to salvage one thing or the other. In fact, in the morning when some of them came, I saw some of them who collapsed, others who were crying uncontrollably because they tell me that just a week ago they went for a loan to stock their shops, only for them to wake up this morning and see all their investment going down the drain. In fact, the fire service got there early, even though the fire is said to have started around 10. The fire service tells us they received a distress call around 11:30, which meant 1 hour 30 minutes. And before they got to the scene, the harm has already been caused. And for that matter, that's how come we saw that extent of damage. I earlier engaged with the fire regional fire commander, ACFO Peter Tete. Let's listen to what he has been telling me.
Fire started from this side, near the electric pole. That is what, and the fire spread very rapidly. And what they saw was a lot of explosions from gas cylinders. The sheds here are 192, and then the stores are made up of 25. At least those who were actually involved in the fire. Very difficult to get access. And you know, where the fire has been parked on the road, you have to lay a lot of hoses before you get inside, which makes it firefighting very difficult.
And I heard the fire commander, ACFO Peter Tete. He's the Ashanti Regional Fire Officer. Ibrahim Abubakar is still on the line with us. Ibrahim, I know you were talking about the victims earlier, and if you're following us on Facebook, we're already showing you the extent of damage as regards to that fire that started late last night in the Ashanti region. But what more can you tell us as regards how the traders are reacting to what has happened so far?
Well, most of them are still not believing what has happened. For now, they are just looking up. It is to come to their aid. In the morning, we saw lots of National Disaster Management Organization, and we also had the regional minister speaking about it. So they are hoping that at least by the close of the week, some form of help will come to them so they will be able to return to business. Let's listen to what they have also been telling us.
No, so come and feel until if you are now about another 8. It's by another 11. I'm afraid me catch me say Ganesh. Me so me use car until me far trot me free. me te konoma fancho me fi wonu ma me du ase na chese fire service for ha omo bu ase nka omo bedum no so si bia na so na so kwa man fi antemi fi na abo anaju 8 nti bia anaju 11 omo frɛ me ka che me se igwane hyi me so me nyusu ka ntemi fa trotro me fi me te konoma fancho me fi wonu ma me du ase na chese fire service for ha omo bu ase nka omo bedum no so si bia na structure ni sitie na omo so ba bia na nso.
In summary, if you can tell us what the man was saying in Tree, and indeed, just asking you 2 questions in one, Ibrahim, whether the fire service has been able to tell us what could have been the reason for the fire.
Well, indeed, he confirmed that access to the market was quite a challenge, and that kind of hindered the effort of the fire service personnel from being able to handle the issue on time. But in all, he was saying he has lost everything, and the woman was also saying the same. She said she doesn't know where to start over again, and they are just hoping that government will come and support them. Well, it's true the fire service are commenced investigation to ascertain what exactly caused the fire, but the preliminary report that is coming out is that it was due to electrical fault, but that has not been confirmed yet, as we are still investigating.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Abubakar. He's Ashanti Regional Correspondent. Another year and another disaster in the offing. Well, that's the question on the minds of residents in the Upper East region, as the white voter has already drunk to its full and is beginning to overflow its banks, following the spilling of the Bagri and Kompenga dams in Burkina Faso. Already, Regional Disaster Assessment Team of NADMO, together with the Talensi District Disaster Management Committee, have visited residents living along the white voter to provide early warning signals to them and to those who may be negatively affected by the Bagri and Kompenga dams spillage. Water from the dams were opened on Monday and expected to hit the white voter midnight Wednesday, the 27th of August 2025. Now, with fears of even greater havoc this year, concerns are being raised as to the level of preparedness of residents to the flood waters. Our regional correspondent Castro Senyala joins us. Our regional correspondent Ibrahim Tanko joins us on the line. Ibrahim, yesterday you mentioned that the waters will start hitting the white voter as at today. Can you confirm whether that has happened?
Yes, it is expected to hit the white voter midnight, but there's an increase already in the white water due to last night's rain, so it's already on the high, and probably the water from the Bagri Dam will hit the white water midday, to be depending on the volume and speed, because it is controlled, and that is why all the 6 flood gates at the Bagri Dam and Kopega dams were not open at once to pay for the residents and farmers to be okay. As I speak to you, the farms along this stretch have begun to submerge, but residents and livestock have been moved to higher grounds for safety. Also, food security will be a big issue after the spillage, because large quantities of food will be, push price of available food items high. And then what is happening also is that NADMO has activated Operation Thunderbolt in Walwale as part of rescue and flood management system. Beatrice.
I want us to listen to one farmer who spoke to you earlier, and then we'll continue with the conversation. Tanko.
5 years now, the Bagri Dam has been worrying farmers, and it has been a serious problem for the farmers in this community. We lost our farm produce during this particular time. Most of this time, the lives have been lost through this particular spillage. Now, I want to use this opportunity to thank NADMO for your immediate intervention by coming to talk to farmers and the community about the impending spillage that is coming.
All the state they should do well and also see to us, the government to see to us. Every day dance, every day they are dancing. They are saying nothing. We are all happy they've done that, or else after the damage is done, you're given a cap. Cap cannot use to feed yourself, neither your family.
And you heard one of the farmers affected by the spillage of the 2 dams. Tanko is still on the line with us. Tanko, what more can you tell us about what NADMO officials have been saying?
Yes, since yesterday and then today, London officials are on the ground. Like Kathy mentioned, I was with them yesterday at Nubu in the Telasi district, and then on Monday they were at the Boku West area. So today they are continuing with their education on the Baghdad village, especially communities along the White Water. And then as I speak to you, the Regional Disaster Management Committee, together with other districts, have gone to Walwale to, meet with the opposition Thunderbolt who are currently there to make sure the lives of poverty are saved.
And we have spoken to them, and they have understood it and promised to abide not to go close to the water. This will go a long way to mitigate the impact of the floods.
So our farmers moving away?
At the moment, they have moved away from their farms. Few of them were harvested, but once they picked signals that the water will be coming and information from our zonal coordinators that the water will be coming, they have suspended going down to the farms to pick the produce again. They are hoping that when the water passes on, they will go back to see whether they can salvage what is left over for them.
And you heard the Upper East Regional NADMO Coordinator. Earlier you heard our correspondent there, Mohammed Tanko, bring us an update on what's happening there. Still on the dam spillage, the National Disaster Management Organization is also stepping up emergency sensitization efforts in the Boku West district, urging residents in low-lying communities to move to higher grounds for their safety. Castro Sanyala has more in the following report.
Ghanaian authorities received regarding the annual spillage from the Bagre and Kumpenga dams. According to the communications, the current water level at risk of flood. East and northern regions, destroying crops, homes, and vital infrastructure, and deepening the vulnerability of rural communities reliant on agriculture and fishing. In response, the National Disaster Management Organization in the Upper East region has launched intensified sensitization efforts, urging all residents in low-lying zones to move to higher grounds to ensure safety.
The situation for now is calm. Everything is under control, so we are here with our local divers, our DVGs, and that of the zonal coordinators to ensure close monitoring of the process. We have also been able to engage with the farmers, the fishermen along the White Water River here. We have been able to sensitize them effectively on the need to immediately evacuate to higher grounds or to safer places.
And you heard that report filed by Castro Sanyala. Some 14 minutes past the hour of 12 now. TV3 present EduFire 2025, the platform that connects schools, educational institutions, institutes of higher learning, educational materials, producers or suppliers, edutech service providers or financial companies with student and parent-focused products and services to secondary students and parents to help increase awareness of higher education and vocational vocational school opportunities. TV3 EduFair helps parents and students explore top universities, meet academic experts, discover scholarships, and take the first step towards their dream career. Venue for the TV3 EduFair is the plush Accra City Hotel from Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th of October 2025 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Come, network, learn, and get admissions or opportunities for your wards, while educational vendors will also get the opportunity to sign on prospective students. The TV3 EduFair, proudly sponsored by Center for International Studies, Africa Schools Online, and Chief. Call 0247 120 or 053 927 for more details. See you there. TV3, fast in news, best in entertainment.
Don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, hundreds of displaced victims of communal violence, particularly women, children, and other vulnerable groups in the Sonatuna Kalba district, continue to flee their homes amidst food security and safety concerns. Though more security forces have been deployed to the area to prevent further escalation of the conflict, tensions are still high. Communities such as Beyiri, Kalba, Seyiri, and Nasoyiri near Sola and Bodi Kakaise, Boda, and Doli, among others, have been abandoned. On Monday, the 26th of August, the Inspector General of Police, among other top security operatives, and the Savannah Regional Security Council visited the affected communities and reassured them of their safety while calling for a ceasefire. Some 10 lives have reportedly been lost since the incident occurred on Sunday. Now, we'll be crossing over to Sola to engage my colleague Christopher Amwako on this rather unfortunate development shortly. But first, let's take a listen to the IGP and the Savannah Regional Minister after the assessment of the situation earlier yesterday when they arrived there.
Yes, it really met my expectation because since I came, we don't hear any gunshots and all those things because the security personnel have actually taken the ground and then making sure that life will return to normalcy. Yes, so I can say that we are firmly on the ground. The police, military, and other security services working together to make sure that life returns. If things are not well, passing through this tough terrain, several kilometers to get here, it will be difficult for you and I to get here. But your observation shows that at least, the gunfire has come down. And then all we want is that how we have to work together to bring peace so that people can now return to their settlements without any fear of being attacked. That is the stage in which we are working.
Okay, just a last one from me.
Then there was an emergency they have to respond to, and they went to respond to the emergency. And
does it mean that they all left the community?
The most important is that they have to protect life, and then later on they protect property. And they took the first option of protecting life. Yes, it is enormous. And I think with that, we have to now increase the numbers of the police that have to be on the ground over there so that, when others are not there, others can be there to
hold their fort. Unfortunately, many lives have been lost, but it is not beyond our resolution. All parties can sit together and be able to resolve it. We are one people. We are in the same community. We interact, we intermarry, we interrelate frequently.
And I had there earlier the Inspector General of Police and now the Savannah Regional Minister, Christopher Mwako, like I told you, is on the line with us. Chris, we do understand that more and more people are trooping to the Solar Police Station for safety. Just paint a picture for us, really, how the situation looks like now.
Yes, so Beatrice, more and more people continue to troop to the Solar District Police Command for safety. As of yesterday, a lot more of them arrived. This morning, more and more of them continue to arrive. This time, we are seeing some men also arriving at the Solar District Police Command. And so even though the tensions in the communities has calmed down, but we still seeing more people arriving here for safety. Now, if you use the Solar Bole stretch before you get to Bole, others are also pitching camps there. Those fleeing the conflict areas are also keeping camp there for their safety. And so the situation when it comes to the people deserting their communities is still the same.
And we understand that the area is beginning to face food and other security crises there, especially as regards women. What can you tell us?
Yes, so the more people who arrive here, most of them have indicated to me that they've not eaten since they got to the camp. Some of them actually this morning had food, but the food that came was not enough to be shared amongst all the people here because of the numbers, but they are hoping that more food supplies will arrive. Yesterday, the gender minister organized some food for them. The district chief executive through the assembly also organized some food for them. NADMO has been helping to distribute these food supplies to them. Let's take a listen to some of the residents or victims of this conflict sharing their plight since the incident happened.
I am a sick person and also visually impaired, and this fight has happened. They have killed a lot of people. I kept swelling in the gutter when I was running until someone helped me. I need help. I came here yesterday, but I am now having some porridge to eat.
And you had some of the victims of that violence happening up north, some 23 minutes past the hour of 12. Meanwhile, Savannah Regional Coordinator of the Ghana School Feeding Program, Hajia Bawa, who is shocked at the number of displaced women and children after delivering food items to them, said also called for ceasefire. Let's take you to the Eastern region now, precisely at Kwetia, where the Electoral Commission is holding its final meeting with political party representatives ahead of next week's crucial parliamentary by-election. The contest will see Solomon Kwame Asumadu running on the ticket of the opposition New Patriotic Party face off with Bernard Bedi-Akobedu of the governing National Democratic Congress on Tuesday, the 2nd of September. A total of 52,000 plus registered voters across 119 polling stations are expected to choose a replacement for the late Member of Parliament Ernest Kumi. The EC has already dispatched electoral materials to Akwetia, and this afternoon's meeting is expected to finalize the modalities for the polls. Eastern Regional Correspondent Yvonne Nekwe is monitoring proceedings for us. She joins us live on the phone with some updates. Yvonne, just tell us the focus of the discussions at the EC's final meeting today.
Beatrice, the Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting ended a while ago. It was actually a closed-door meeting just between the Electoral Commission and the contending political parties. But essentially, two things were critical on board for the discussion: adherence of the party agent to the protocols when the elections happen, and then adherence again as to the Electoral Commission or electoral process laws by the political parties. It looks to seem that before the election, the process has been smooth so far. All parties are okay with the consensus they have built. There was no pact signing, but their representatives, to each of them being part of the meeting, as to say, means that, well, they are committed to the peace part, maybe before the election, or seeing what will happen during the election as it moves along.
But how are the political parties reacting to the arrangements ahead of next week's polls?
Well, from when the electoral materials arrived and today when the meeting has ended, they look to be okay. They are okay with the process. Like I said, this is just before the election. The D-Day is adjusting what will happen as to their push and attitude towards exactly what will be happening. And so we are moving along the process with all of them who are stakeholders in this electoral process to see how the outcome will be.
Thank you very much, Yvonne Nekwe. She is our Eastern Regional correspondent. Now, as the by-election in that place draws closer, the people there are asking for a change. They say years of lack of development have left them impoverished. I was in Akwatia some days earlier and came through with this report. The sun has set here in Akwatia in the Denchembo district. And the residents here, over 30,000 of them, have had to return to their various homes, whether or not they had jobs to do today. But that is where the district assembly, the Denchembo district, comes in, because it is one of many institutions within the country's local governance system empowered by the laws of Ghana to champion development in various areas, district and municipal assemblies. The question still remains as to whether or not the people are getting what they deserve as citizens of Ghana. In the middle of the recently carved district of Denchembo in the eastern region is Akwatia, a community that has enriched Ghana since 1919 because of the mining of diamonds. Akwatia, through the then Consolidated Diamonds, has given the nation over 100 million carats of diamonds. Once the diamond capital of Ghana, today it is a community in decline. Years after the fall of Ghana Consolidated Diamonds, its people say they are left with poverty, bad roads and broken promises. Challenges with the mining company means that the hundreds of people who were employed and making a living through the official mining of diamonds have had to find other means of survival: illegal mining and petty trading. Consequently, the lack of proper social amenities has made things worse. The Kuntihine of Achimwenchi, Bafo Ahenejima, is worried.
We don't vote on issues. That is what I would say. Per what I've seen, mostly don't vote on issues, but we look at sometimes the personality. But I would say, all politicians, they will promise heaven, and forgetting that they do not control the budget.
And we'll bring you more of this report in our subsequent bulletins. Before we go, the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Martin Kwekwe, has been reassigned to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Government sources confirmed to the move to Sri News. The reasons for his reassignment are not yet clear, but it comes after months of mounting pressure on the government to remove him from office. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us on the Midday News today on Shri FM 92.7. Log on to shrinews.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.
Follow us on social media, Twitter at 3FM927, Facebook at 3FM927, and also on 3news.com. Follow us on social media, Twitter at 3FM927, Facebook at 3FM927, and also on 3news.com.
And hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Obodu. Coming up, analyst projects further policy rate cut to 20% by year end as Bank of Ghana faces pressure to align lending costs with sharp decline in inflation.
Our recovery is still a bit fragile. There's still heavy headwinds out there against us. So I'm expecting anything up to a 300 basis point reduction.
Also, Bank of Ghana reiterates CD as only legal tender, warning public and businesses to stop black market forex dealing and foreign currency pricing of goods and services. And later, new banking survey reveals surge in generative AI adoption as banking sector deposits jump 32% to 266 billion cedis. Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Well, thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story. And the Bank of Ghana is reminding the public and businesses that the Ghana cedi remains the sole tender, legal tender in the country. It has cautioned that unlicensed forex dealings and the practice of pricing and paying for goods and services in dollars or other foreign currencies remain strictly prohibited under the Foreign Exchange Act of 2006. This report has more. The Bank of Ghana has issued a fresh caution to the public and businesses to desist from engaging in unauthorized foreign exchange activities, particularly known as black market dealings. In a statement, the central bank stressed that quoting, advertising, invoicing, receiving or making payments in foreign currency for goods and services in Ghana without authorization is illegal under the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723. It explained that the Ghana cedi remains the only legal tender in the country and warned institutions and individuals currently pricing goods and services in dollars such as school fees, car sales, rent, real estate, airline tickets, online transactions, and hotel accommodation to immediately stop the practice. According to the bank, foreign currency invoices may only be issued to expatriates or non-residents with proceeds deposited into a foreign exchange account at a licensed bank. It also directed that any exchange rates quoted must reflect prevailing market rates of commercial banks, benchmarked against its published reference rate. The Bank of Ghana noted that legitimate external payments can still be processed through the banking system, but emphasized it will strictly enforce compliance and offenders will face sanctions or legal action in line with the law. And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, a financial analyst has projected that the Bank of Ghana's key lending rate could fall to 20% by the end of the year to better align with prevailing economic conditions. Chief Executive Officer of Daylex Finance, Joe Jackson, noted that while the central bank's current policy rate stands at 25%, this figure is at odds with other key economic indicators. For instance, consumer inflation has dropped to 12.1% and producer inflation is as low as 3.8%.
Joe Jackson expects the Bank of Ghana to further cut its key lending rate at the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting. According to Jackson, current economic indicators present a baffling picture that justifies a reduction.
Typically, the central bank would want our inflation to come to single digits and remain there before they try and calm down too low. Our recovery is still a bit fragile. There's still heavy headwinds out there against us. So I'm expecting anything up to a 300 basis point reduction, 3 percentage points reduction.
Joe Jackson argued that the economy is stabilizing, but the current policy rate is too high.
Is there some tension between the MPC rates and the inflation rates and the interest rates, there is definitely tension. And so I suspect strongly that the rate will come down. Maybe not as much as 500 basis points or 5%, but I'm expecting 300 basis points or 3%. And that by the end of the year, would have hit the 20% that we are all expecting.
The central bank's challenge is to find the right balance, reducing the cost of borrowing to spur economic activity without reigniting inflationary pressures.
Now, away from that, PwC Ghana has unveiled its 2025 banking survey showing that banks in Ghana are rapidly adopting generative artificial intelligence to improve customer experience and operational efficiency. This is against the back of a resilient sector that saw deposits climb sharply by more than 32% in 2024.
The 2025 banking survey points to a strong wave of generative artificial intelligence adoption in the country's banking sector. According to the report, nearly 7 in 10 bank CEOs confirmed their institutions deployed Gen AI tools in 2024 to boost both customer service and back office efficiency. Some banks reported as much as a 20% increase in customer satisfaction and a 15% reduction in fraud after deploying AI-powered solutions. The report comes on the back of a thriving industry, with total deposits rising from 201 billion cedis in 2023 to 266 billion cedis in 2024, a growth of more than 32%. Market leaders Ecobank Ghana and GCB Bank maintained their stronghold on deposits, while new players like Access and Zenith Bank gained ground through agile strategies. PwC says, while CEOs are optimistic about the role of Gen AI, the sector must prioritize responsible AI policies, ethical data use, and risk management to sustain trust.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, Ghana's agricultural sector is set for a major boost as the Ministry of Food and Agriculture announces the launch of a $5 million project to produce fertilizer using excess gas from the Atuabo gas plant. The initiative is expected to create over 2,000 direct jobs and unlock new petrochemical value chains across the country. Speaking to 3 Business during a courtesy call on the ministry, Reverend Mauli Benson, CEO and local partner of Al Jadad, the project implementers, confirmed that funding is secured and implementation is ready to begin.
We are building. So basically, what is going to happen is urea and ammonia is produced from gas. Okay. All right. And we have, for example, we have the Ghana gas at Atuabo. So we're going to build our own gas plant. Okay. In fact, the technology, what Al Jadad has done, they've done a similar project in Brunei. As you heard our group managing director, 6 months ago that project was commissioned. So, and our technical partner, Tyson Crop is one of the biggest technical partners in the world. They are Germans. Okay. So they built what we have in Brunei. So they're just going to replicate whatever they built there over here. So we're going to build a gas plant first, okay, and then we're going to build a fertilizer plant.
Okay, all in Atuabo?
At the petroleum hub. But the gas plant is going to be a floating one.
So that was CEO and local partner of Al Jadad, Reverend Mauli Benson. Meanwhile, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Eric Opoku, expressed optimism about the second phase of the project, which will enable Ghana to begin exporting food produce to Qatar.
Connecting to the entire African continent from Ghana here. And so we thank you very much. And I want to assure you that over the years, we have been importing fertilizer from outside Ghana. I know recently we had a lot of challenges with our exchange rate because of the huge import bill. We import a lot. And so the president has directed that we focus on production of some of the things that we can do here in Ghana. It is only through that we can sustainably work on the volatility of the exchange rate. And so this is one of the areas that we are looking at. So this government is ever ready to support you to ensure that this factory is established here in Ghana. And we are giving you our word. If we have the factory here producing the fertilizer, what is the sense in going outside to import the fertilizer to come and support our business here? And so once you start production here, you have the market already. And the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is ever prepared to work with you.
You have the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Eric Opoku, bringing an end to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website, it's 3news.com/business.